Elite footballers have a 3-year biological window where their brains literally operate in a way that can never be replicated again. Neuroscience just proved why almost every player on Earth begins to decline the moment they turn 27. Elon Musk has publicly obsessed over peak human performance. He funds research into brain-computer interfaces precisely because he believes the biological ceiling of the human mind is tragically, unnecessarily low. And nowhere is that ceiling more visible and more brutal than in professional football. The sport is essentially a live laboratory for human cognitive and physical limits. Here is what the data actually shows. Across every major European league, the average statistical peak for elite outfield players lands between ages 25 and 28, with the sharpest single-point clustering right around 27. That is not a coincidence. The reason is buried inside your prefrontal cortex. This is the region that governs anticipation, split-second decision-making, and the ability to read patterns before they fully form. It finishes developing in your mid-20s, and it hits maximum efficiency right around 26 to 28. Think about what a footballer actually does in a single second. They process the positions of 21 other players, predict 3 possible futures simultaneously, and commit their body to one explosive movement, all before conscious thought catches up. That is your prefrontal cortex running at full voltage. But that is not even the strangest part. The same window that makes the brain peak also begins the process of neural pruning, where the brain starts cutting connections it deems inefficient. And some of those connections are exactly the ones elite sport depends on. Gerard Piqué, Shakira's former partner and one of Spain's greatest defenders, retired at 35 citing a sharp drop in his ability to anticipate play. He described it as thinking half a second too late. Neuroscientists would call that textbook post-peak synaptic pruning. Then there is the physical side compounding the cognitive one. Fast-twitch muscle fibers, the ones responsible for explosive acceleration, begin their measurable decline at around 28. So the brain and the body start failing at almost exactly the same time. Current World Cup contenders like Kylian Mbappé are sitting right inside that golden window right now. Every match he plays before 28 is statistically his best football. After that, even for generational talents, the curve bends downward. Some players extend the window through extraordinary discipline. Cristiano Ronaldo's obsessive sleep scheduling, cryotherapy, and near-zero body fat percentage are essentially manual overrides of biological decline. Science suggests he bought himself 2 to 3 extra years of peak output. But even he could not stop the clock. This is exactly what Musk's Neuralink is theoretically chasing, the ability to bypass the brain's natural degradation with direct neural enhancement. Imagine a footballer whose reaction time stays at 22-year-old levels at age 35. The sport would never look the same. But here is the uncomfortable truth science keeps landing on. The very process that makes the brain peak, the final myelination of neural pathways, is irreversible. You cannot unmyelinate and remyelinate. The peak happens once, and then it is gone forever. That 3-year window is the most expensive real estate in sport. Teams spend hundreds of millions of dollars trying to own it. And most players don't even know it's closing until the moment it already has. If this changed how you think about the sport you watch every weekend, hit subscribe, and tell me in the comments, which current player do you think is right at the peak of their biological window right now?